Severe storms have exited the state, but rain chances may linger into the weekend. Let's talk about it in this Friday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good afternoon. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy and Chief David Reimer. It is Friday, the 9th of May, 2025. Any day in May where we're not having spinny doom-dooms attack the state is a pretty darn good day. And, well, guess what? Today is going to be a pretty darn good day, even if we do have some rain sticking around across parts of the state. Let's take a look at the high-rise rapid refresh model for today, tonight, into Saturday. A couple isolated storms are possible across the state through the late afternoon hours. Those will generally move to the southwest, as we're now on the western side of an upper-level storm system, and that's going to bring northerly winds aloft and at the surface to most of the state of Texas, helping to drag in some less humid, cooler air. As we go into tonight, storms will dissipate, any we have at least, by probably 8-9 p.m., leaving a beautiful night across the state. May start off the morning with some fog. Going into the day Saturday, you can see isolated pop-up storms. We might have some eastern half of the state, as we still have some remnant moisture. And again, not going to have severe weather in the sense of tornadoes, big hail, strong winds. These are more of your summertime pop-ups. And that will continue through sunset, except tomorrow night, the high-rise rapid refresh model is actually depicting a larger area of light to moderate rain now possible across portions of North Texas, Northeast Texas, East Texas. We'll see. But if we see some of that move in from Arkansas, Mississippi, it's certainly possible. Definitely not our typical storm direction, but, well, and again, it is what it is, and it's not going to try to drop tornadoes, softball-sized hail, or hurricane-force winds on us, or 20 inches of rain. I say we take it and go with the flow. It is what it is. Taking a look at the upper level pattern going into the upcoming week. Well, I'll wait for this animation to restart. We're going to have northwesterly flow aloft through the weekend with that upper level low sent off to our east. That finally departs early next week. And in its wake, we're going to start to see that jet stream dip back south and return to the southern and central United States. And what's that mean for us? Well, typically, you'd think we'd be dealing with storms, right? Well, we very well may, but we're not going to have a lot of moisture to work with initially. What we're going to have is a pretty strong cap aloft coming in from some hotter, drier air coming in off the higher terrain of Mexico next week. That is going to overspread the southern plains. That strong cap may actually act as a pretty good lid on thunderstorm potential and activity through much of the upcoming work week, especially through Wednesday. Now, if we have an isolated storm or two develop, say Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon in Texas, it'd probably be the eastern half of the state, and it would probably be quite rowdy, but this is one of those very low coverage / high impact potentials where 99.5% of the state each day probably won't see a thing, but if we get one storm to go up, it's probably going to be throwing out softballs and, all the things we do in May. So we'll have to keep an eye on it, but nothing is screaming widespread severe potential through at least Wednesday of next week. So the next 5 days, outside of some of these rain chances over the weekend, actually do look pretty nice across the state for mid-May. As we get towards the second half of next week, we may get a little more active, but that is still out in Weather Model Voodoo Land. Here's forecast rain totals over the next 7 days from the Weather Prediction Center. As you can see, the heaviest rains now expected, maybe a ½ inch on the Texas-Louisiana border there in the piney woods of East Texas to Toledo Bend Reservoir, and that's mainly going to be with the potential for some scattered showers and storms Saturday night to Sunday morning. Otherwise, we might see isolated afternoon thunderstorms, today and tomorrow across especially the eastern half of the state, and those would slowly rotate to the south-southwest, much like your summertime pop-ups. Otherwise, we're not looking at widespread rain or storms in Texas probably for at least the next 5, if not 7 days. Definitely a stark adjustment from this time last year. Taking a look at the extended range, the Climate Prediction Center, the 16th through 22nd of May, we are expecting above average temperatures across the state, which means, it's going to be warm, probably 90s. Below average temperatures this weekend through Monday, then we warm up going into Tuesday onward of next week. And forecast precipitation chances, we may be less active for the next 5 to 7 days, but beyond that, we're going to get busy again, most likely, as the Weather Prediction Center has us in above average precipitation chances going into the third week of May. It's that magical time of day where we give a shout out to our super duper awesome blossom folks here. And for that is exactly what we are going to do. We're going to give a shout out to our Spinny Doomers here on the Texas Weather Center YouTube channel. I want to thank each and every one of you for being Spinny Doomers and helping us support the mission of bringing you life-saving weather information, both during active periods and, well, you know, when it's 100 degrees for 30 days on end. So, thank you, Annette Moore, Anthony R. Pelosi Jr., Candy P., Christina West, Deanna, Donald Yellett, J.A., Jennifer, Texas girl, north up in Wyoming now, who's also one of our moderators. Thank you kindly. Justin S., Kenneth Howell, Kenneth Howell, Love, Live, Laugh, Nancy Rosenberg, Paranoid Pocho, r/Tornado Chats, Rascal, SZX2, Ryan Tucker, S00 Patique, Samantha D., and Tanya McGee. Thank you kindly for being Spinny Doomers here on the Texas Weather Center. With no significant severe weather hazards expected this weekend, we'll have our typical 5-day video schedule, meaning our next regular Texas Weather Roundup will be out bright and early on Monday. We'll keep an eye on rain chances over the next few days, but again, not expected to be your big, bad, very mad storms, just more of your summertime pop-ups in the afternoon that typically rain themselves out within an hour. We'll talk to you again Monday morning. Y'all have a great weekend. God bless.